Good morning, San Jacinto Elementary School. This is your principal, Tom Conley, and I'm coming to you today from the 9/11 Memorial that is located in Lower Manhattan in New York City. And what you're seeing is, it looks like a pool with some waterfalls, but it also is the site of a skyscraper, the World Trade Center building, and there were two of them side by side, and there are two pools there today that both represent where these buildings stood. On September 11th, we remember something that happened in our country before any of you were born. Your teachers probably remember it very well, and they might even be able to tell you exactly where they were and what was happening in their life at that time. It's one of those moments that will always be etched in our memory, and it's a good thing that we remember it in a positive light as to what happened in our country, how our country responded to these events. And so even though it was a tragic day, I'll share with you my memories, and then also I have a quote from the former president that was dealing with this issue at the time. And so just so you understand, at that time in my life, I was a teacher. And when I was a teacher in the classroom, I was a fifth grade teacher teaching language arts, and I didn't even know that these events were taking place. In fact, that morning I dropped off my truck to be worked on, and it was at a mechanic shop. And when I got to my conference, my break time, I knew that something was happening, but I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was something happening in our town, if it was something that happened in our country. I didn't know if it was a big and serious deal or if it was just something interesting that was happening in the news. And so when I called the mechanic to ask him how my truck was coming along, he started to ask me questions and wanted to know if I even knew what was going on. It was at that moment that I found out about our country being under attack that day. Well, rather than dwelling on what could be scary about that moment, what we remember about that day, while it might be hard to think about, we remember the courage of America in that moment. And so I want to share with you this. I think that this puts it into perspective. It did for me. This was shared by our former president, George Bush, 5 years after the incident had taken place. On September 11th, our nation saw the face of evil. Yet on that awful day, we also witnessed something distinctly American. Ordinary citizens rising to the occasion and responding with extraordinary acts of courage. We saw courage in office workers who were trapped in the high floors of burning skyscrapers, who called home so that their last words to their families would be of comfort and love. We saw courage in passengers aboard Flight 93 who recited the 23rd Psalm and then charged the cockpit. And we saw courage in the Pentagon staff who made it out of the flames and smoke and ran back in to answer the cries for help. On this day, we remember the innocent who've lost their lives, and we pay tribute to those who gave their lives so that others might live. I think that's important, that we think about the courage of others. When America is facing tough times, America responds with courage. And that gives me hope. And so it gives me hope that in your generation, when we face tough times together, that we will be able to respond the same way. We'll be able to respond with courage. Maybe that should be our word for the week. We should talk about responding with courage and what courage means. So this day, as you take some time to reflect on September 11th or whatever lessons that you hear about America's heroes, our firefighters and our police, or our soldiers, or anybody that has answered the call with courage, I hope that you reflect upon how you can respond to tough times with courage as well. Well, today is not just about September 11th. It's also about some activities that are going to take place this week. And one of the first things that'll be coming up on our schedule is our open house, and that's going to be tomorrow night. And so students, when you go home tonight, I encourage you to talk to your family about coming out. We're going to be serving pizza, and I think we'll also have some drinks and maybe some other items. And so there will be dinner that will be provided, so your family can come out and join you and have a good dinner. We'll also have an opportunity for your family to join PTO. We'd love for your parents to be a part of our PTO and help do just some excellent things for our school, and that will directly have a positive impact on you. And then finally, we're going to kick off our Watchdogs program tomorrow night. And with the Watchdogs program, that's really targeted at our dads, but we're going to share it with everybody. So anybody that wants to be a part of our Watchdogs program can be a part of it. And Watchdogs program came from, it was a response of courage. Many of the watchdogs that you'll see, they are heroes too. Your dad and any other male figure that you have in your life that wants to do things that help you out in life, they are responding as a hero. Thursday is International Dot Day, and so I'm going to see if I can hold this up and you can see this. I've got the book. It's called The Dot. It's a really good book, and we'll share some information with your class, and we'll see if I can get that real close so you can see that. But this is The Dot, and anyway, The Dot is a book about making your mark in this world, making your mark on this day, making your mark in life, and what you can do to turn things around. It's about responding to tough times with courage. And you know what, I might be embellishing a bit, but that is really, when we get down to it, you'll see that in the story. And so I hope that you enjoy Dot Day on Thursday. That's September 15th. And so finally, I have one other piece of information, and I really need all of our students to help me out with this. On Friday, you heard about a fundraiser that we have. And that fundraiser, we're going to go out and we're going to try to sell cookie dough and gift wrap and some other items that will raise funds for our school. And you also heard about an incentive. And that incentive is that if you are a student that raises the most money in that fundraiser, you get to throw water balloons at the principal at LES. I really need your help. What I realized after this happened is that many of you do not even know who Mr. McGee is. And so today, in this video, right about now, you should be able to see an image of Mr. McGee. Now, Mr. McGee is my friend. And we get along great, and we celebrate student success together. We're principals together, and we want to see all students succeed. But in this event, he is public enemy number one. And I want to do everything that we can to be able to throw as many water balloons at Mr. McGee as possible. So if you see this man in public, if you see him at a football game, you can let him know that he's going to be all wet at the end of this fundraiser, and we need to do everything that we can to make sure that we can throw water balloons at him. In fact, I would like to throw a few water balloons at Mr. McGee in this event. So as you begin to raise funds, just think about this. Think about how much fun it would be to throw water balloons at Mr. McGee, at another principal, if we had them all dressed up even. I don't know if we can get him dressed up in a suit, and some of the pictures you might be seeing might include him in a suit. So anyway, that concludes our news today. I hope that you guys have a fabulous day, a fabulous week, and that you have great success in what you do. Thank you. Have a great morning.